Hello, my name is Marcellus, Marcellus King Photography, and what we have before us is the Gini Rig 17. So first I want to talk about the good benefits of this rig, what I found so far in my use of it. So far I've had it for like around 3 or 4 weeks, and she has performed admirably well. I have made a few modifications, but I'll talk about those in addition to the good and the bad. So to first start off with the good, it's a very well built rig. It's very solid, made out of metal. You're going to be able to carry a lot of weight on it. You got these extra points for carrying additional items. You got the carrying handle. You got an all metal follow focus, which has very little play in it. It's a very excellent rig. The handles are really ergonomic, really comfortable to hold. And so far, even though I've been kind of abusing the rig and putting a lot on it, it is really does not have any scratches on it whatsoever. So I'm really kind of surprised by that, especially as many times as I've taken this rig apart and back together again. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is kind of get some recommendations as well. To kind of go into the into the bad, I guess. The first and foremost, this rig's going to be a little bit heavy. So if you're going to be shooting long documentaries or doing long interviews or anything that you're going to have this thing on your shoulder for more than 2 or 3 minutes, I would suggest putting it on a tripod or a monopod to kind of help out with that weight distribution. Otherwise, your forearms are going to get pretty tired unless you're actually wanting to build up muscle. So with that being said, in addition, I had to add a mounting plate here, and the reason being is that you can, well, it's not easy, but you can take the camera on and off, but it involves trying to get your fingers underneath to get to like this little screw right here to release that camera from the little 1/4 thread. So that got old real quick, especially if you're one who, like me, likes to switch back and forth between photography and videography mode. If you want to be able to just get your camera off the rig and just go straight, photography for a few minutes and then slap back on, I would highly suggest getting an extra mount. This is from Manfrotto, and I went ahead and had it drilled in order for me to fit the camera on there correctly. But that has been a huge benefit. So what I typically do now is just I have the bottom part in the camera. I'll slide into the rig, close up the follow focus, and I'm ready to rock and roll. So I would highly suggest doing that. And I would also get an extra piece to put on the bottom. I used a short Manfrotto piece for my video tripod, and it'll also fit my video monopod as well. So great benefit. But other than these two pieces, you're looking at a stock rig. And like I said, it's had very good performance. I've not had any issues with it, and I've been able to do so much more than I was capable of doing before, especially with being able to just carry everything on the rig. I'm making less trips going back and forth when I'm going on the film set, and it's definitely lent itself well to the run and gun style setup that I'm typically involved in when working either by myself or with various directors on film projects. So again, this is a very good rig, very well built, very excellent price. And for those complaining about the shipping, the shipping all the way from Korea, you're going to pay quite a bit of money for that, but you're still paying far, far less for this rig than you would if you were to buy it domestically. So still, it's a very good deal. I would not worry about the shipping charges at all. And another thing too, is kind of unexpected. This rig is so beautiful that it's going to grab a lot of attention. I remember being at an event 2 weeks ago, and someone was showing off basically some new film hardware. You'll be able to look on my channel to see that interview. But at one point, there were more people taking pictures of the rig itself than the actual hardware that was being demonstrated, which was kind of embarrassing. So if you like to stay low key, I would probably strip the rig down a little bit so you don't attract so much attention. So And for those of you who are considering getting this rig, there really aren't any instructions for building this rig that come with it, but that's not a worry because you're going to build the rig according to how you want to build it. And with that being said, I want to offer some suggestions. This is something that I've just learned from experience. You want to take your longest rods and you want to make that your main piece. You don't want to have any short rods that you have to screw together because when you slide components back and forth, they're really going to have a problem going over those joined pieces. So like I said, I would take the longest rods, start off with those, and then on top of that, when you're building your cage, I would put your cage behind wherever your mount is. That way, if you wanted to go to a quick tripod setup, the only thing you have to do, let me go ahead and unscrew my rear part. Loosen up my cage screws. Sometimes the cage doesn't slide off too easily. But just like that, we're down to the basic rails. If you want to keep the handles on there, that's fine. I tend to do mine that way because when I do have it on top of the monopod or the tripod, I can use those handles to kind of guide where I'm going rather than using the handle on the tripod itself. And again, you'll still have your follow focus here, and you can mount some additional items on the rails if you need to. So like I said, I would highly recommend going with this type of configuration. Otherwise, in order to remove your cage, if you had this in the middle of your rail or the middle of your cage rails, like I did, you're going to have to take this part off and then put it back on. And if you're in a hurry, that's going to be quite a hassle. So I would recommend doing that. And then I would also recommend leaving a little bit of space here in the front. So if you want to add, you can hear my pet cat running around upstairs there. If you want to add additional components, like my R300 ring light, you can. So again, I would recommend doing that. So that's my review of the Gini Rig. Like I said, let me go ahead and put this back together just to show you guys how easy it is. These components just slide right back on. And again, sometimes the cage takes a little bit of handiwork to slide both of the pieces at the same time. Screw those in. Get the back piece on there. Get that right, screw those in. Whoops. Hard to do it when you're trying to do a demonstration for some reason here, so let's screw that back in. Actually, I was doing it the wrong way. So again, but like I say, this rig comes together pretty easily with these little thumb screws. It's going to make it pretty convenient to go through, reconfigure that rig on the fly, make some quick changes. So just like that, we're ready to go and ready to shoot again. So if there's any questions, just feel free to post them in the comments and I'll respond as quickly as I can. And again, this is the Gini Rig 17. You can get it from GiniRigsUSA.com or just GiniRigs.com. They also have a Twitter account, and I noticed they're pretty good at replying and following, looking at any questions about their products. So again, very good product support from what I've noticed, and I haven't even had to contact them yet because this rig has just been absolutely beautiful. So again, this is Marcellus of Marcellus King Reviews, and this is the Gini Rig 17. Have a good day.